The secret formula to change your life in 90 days, Bob Proctor reveals. The silence before the storm. You wake up. The world screams. Notifications. Obligations. The invisible weight of expectations that weren't even chosen by you. But between one thought and the next, there's a pause. An interval so brief that most people never notice it. It's in this void that everything begins. Most people live as if in a trance. They wake up, eat, work, repeat. Always running, always reacting, but never stopping to look at what's driving their lives. This first lesson is about observing the autopilot. Because the truth is brutal. If you don't pay attention to what you think every day, you're not living, you're just repeating. And the cruelest part? The mind repeats what's comfortable, even if it destroys you. The same thought leads to the same emotion. The same emotion leads to the same decision. And that decision leads to the same life. That's why the silence between thoughts is so powerful. If you can sit down for a few minutes, turn off the outside noise, and simply observe, you will notice that there is an invisible storm inside you, and it is creating everything around you. But you will also realize something deeper. You are not the storm. You are the observer. And the observer can change everything. This simple awareness, but ignored by 99%, is the first building block of your new reality. For the next 89 days, it will be your anchor. The mirror doesn't lie. You look in the mirror and see a face. But do you see the truth? Most people only see the physical, the appearance. But behind the eyes is the real picture, the portrait of your inner self-image, the silent set of beliefs that, without you realizing it, decides what you can and cannot achieve. And here is the dark revelation. You will never become greater than the image you hold of yourself. You can work hard, study, fight. But if your inner mind still sees you as insufficient, poor, weak, unlucky, it will sabotage your every step. This image was not created by you. It was planted by parents, teachers, traumas, defeats, and repeated patterns since childhood. And worse, it controls your life like an invisible code. Everything you experience in the external world is just a refraction of the image you hold inside. That's why some people always attract scarcity, while others seem to magnetize opportunities, even when they do less. It's not luck. It's internal programming. The key is to stop fighting the world and start changing the inner mirror. But be careful. This is not an optimistic fantasy. It's brutal, because it involves rewriting thoughts that you've believed for decades. You'll have to look inside and confront the voice that whispers, "You're not capable." And then, choose something different. Visualize yourself as prosperous, strong, at peace. Until that image is no longer an idea, it's your new identity. Each day of these 90 days, the mirror will still be there, but it will start showing you something new. Not a reflection of the past, but a projection of who you finally decided to be. Discipline, the language of the strong soul. Do you want to change your life? Then listen to this with brutal attention. Change does not begin with desire. It begins with discipline. Desire is fragile. It is beautiful, but volatile. It appears on sunny days, but flees when it starts to rain. As for discipline, discipline is a sacred pact that you make with your future self. It is what says, "I will continue, even when my mind begs me to stop." Bob Proctor said, "Discipline is the checkpoint between dream and manifestation, because it is the bridge between who you think you are and who you can become." You see, you have paradigms that have been ingrained for years. Old habits, limiting beliefs, automatic impulses. They were programmed, and they can only be replaced with deliberate repetition. Discipline is the act of reprogramming the mind through behavior. It's not about doing big things once in a while. It's about doing small things every day until the mind understands. This is who I am now. Example. You wake up at 6 a.m. to work out. Your mind screams, "Stay 10 more minutes." But you get up anyway. At that moment, something changes. You've created a crack in the old you. And each time you choose the hard path, the right path, you dissolve the old pattern more. After 90 days, what was once effort becomes identity. You're no longer pretending to be someone new. You have become. Don't wait to feel inspired to act. Act until the act becomes natural. That's the true alchemy of transformation. And it always starts with what you do, when no one is watching. Reality is not real. Look around you. Everything seems solid, unchanging, real. The walls, the bills, the routine, the balance in the bank. But here's the truth that few can bear to hear. Reality is not what it is. Reality is what you believe it to be. Bob Proctor taught that we live in both internal and external worlds at the same time, and that the external world is nothing more than a frozen reflection of the internal images and frequencies that you have held for the longest time. And that gives you power. Because if what you call reality was created by mental patterns, then you can deconstruct that version of reality and create another. But it comes at a price. You're going to have to question everything. What your parents told you, what school taught you, what society repeats. You're going to have to destroy certainties that keep you safe, but stagnant. Because the truth is, you don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. Change your frequency, and the world responds. And this isn't magic. It's mental physics. You start thinking differently, feeling differently, acting differently, and the field around you reacts. New people, new opportunities, new paths. Reality starts to look different, but reality hasn't changed. You have. In the next 60, 30, 10 days, if you truly apply this understanding, you will realize something frightening and liberating. Reality was just a mirror, and now, the reflection finally obeys its creator. You are not your thoughts. A voice speaks inside your head. It tells you that you can't do it, that you're behind, that it's too late, that you're not enough. You listen, and you believe it. But here is a truth that tears at the soul of those who understand it. You are not the voice. You are the one who listens. Bob Proctor taught, the mind is an instrument, but most people live as if they were a slave to it. The mind thinks for itself. It repeats memories, traumas, fears, because it has been conditioned to do so. And when you believe that you are your thoughts, then you live under a spell. A spell that you yourself reinforce every day. But there is a way out. And it starts with observation. Start noticing. Who is thinking this thought right now? Is it me, or is it a remnant of something I heard 10 years ago? Think about it. If you can observe anger, if you can perceive sadness, if you can identify fear, then you are none of these things. You are the observer, the creator, the presence behind the mask. And when you realize this for the first time, even for a second, you tear away the veil. You understand that the negative thought is not you failing. It's just a program trying to survive. But now you have a choice. You can choose not to react. You can choose to break the cycle. You can choose to replace that thought with another one that serves you, that uplifts you, that frees you. The mind was made to be commanded. And life changes when you stop obeying your thoughts and start creating new ones, intentionally, every day. Remember, the mind will try to convince you that it's in control, but deep down, it's waiting for a leader. Visualization is not a game. Close your eyes. See yourself there, in that place, in that life, in that body, with that peace that you don't yet feel, but that you know you were born to experience. Now, open your eyes and notice the abyss between what you saw and what's around you. This abyss doesn't exist by chance. It exists because you haven't yet understood the power of visualization. Bob Proctor said, if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. But look, most people visualize like a child imagining a fairy tale, without direction, without emotion, without conviction. Visualizing is not daydreaming. It's programming your brain and body to believe that the future is already the present. It's teaching your biology to vibrate at the frequency of that which hasn't yet arrived, so that it will arrive. It is seeing with the eyes of faith, feeling with the body of certainty, living with the energy of someone who has already conquered. Because the universe does not respond to your desire. It responds to your vibration. And when you visualize with real intensity, with clear images, deep feelings, daily focus, you begin to move invisible particles in your direction. People appear. Doors open. Coincidences explode. Not because magically everything changed, but because you changed the field. Continuous, disciplined, emotional visualization charged with intention, alters your identity. And when your identity changes, the world around you is forced to reorganize itself. Do this for the next few days. Every day, before going to sleep, when you wake up, in silence, and then on day 90, what was once just an internal vision will be in front of you. Suffering is not the enemy. Pain arrives, silent or violent. It breaks you down inside. It makes the world slow down, and everything seems dark. The natural reaction? To run away, to numb yourself, to disguise it with distraction, dopamine, guilt, or anger. But the truth is this, raw. Suffering did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal what in you needs to die, so that something greater can be born. Bob Proctor said, "You will never grow in comfort. Growth happens when you are pushed beyond what you think you can handle." Suffering is the siren. It is the signal that an old paradigm is trying to resist. It is the warning that something in you is being ripped away, because it no longer serves you. You see, you do not suffer because of what happens. You suffer because of the story you tell yourself about what happens. You suffer because deep down, the old you is dying, and it screams. But if you take a deep breath, and stay present, and let the pain pass through you, without running away, it will transform, not into pleasure, but into clarity, into strength, into focus. Those who transcend pain are those who stop resisting it, and start listening to what it's trying to tell them. Stop. Notice. Change. Use pain like a scalpel. Cut the lie. Cut the fear. Cut the mask. Because each time you survive it with presence and purpose, you don't come back the same. You come back, closer to who you were born to be. Waiting for the right moment. The perfect sign. Full confidence. You're already ready, even if it doesn't seem like it. You're waiting. Absolute clarity. But listen with all your soul. This moment will not come, because it does not exist outside of you. It arises when you decide to act, even if you feel fear. Bob Proctor said that action does not come after confidence. Action creates confidence. Waiting to feel ready is the ego's elegant excuse. It is the mask that fear uses to appear rational. And this fear is old. It was taught, conditioned, inherited, but it only commands as long as you obey it. Do you know who acts? The one who understood that they will feel discomfort anyway. The one who has already accepted that butterflies in the stomach are part of the process. And more. The one who understood that each step taken despite doubt weakens the doubt. The mind will scream. What if it doesn't work out? What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? Respond with action. Because every time you move an inch, the universe responds with a meter. You prove to yourself that you were already ready. You just didn't know it. Look around. People are succeeding with less preparation than you, with less talent, with less time. The difference? They started. Don't wait another 90 days to feel ready. Use these 90 days to become unquestionable. Ritualize everything. Change doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't arise from chance or luck. It is born from repetition, in constant practice that is loaded with meaning. Bob Proctor said, "You are what you repeatedly do." Excellence is not an act, it is a habit. But it's not enough to repeat for the sake of repeating. You have to ritualize it. Turn every action into a sacred ceremony, a silent pact with your future self. It's not just waking up early. It's not just writing down a goal. It's not just meditating. It's doing all of this with absolute intention. Your every gesture should be a declaration. I choose who I want to be. Wake up. Breathe deeply. Look in the mirror and affirm your new identity. Write your goals down with reverence. Visualize with passion. Act with discipline. It all connects. Each ritual creates an electrical pathway in your brain, solidifying who you are. In the end, you're no longer making habits. You're living a new reality. And this new reality will withstand any storm, any doubt, any sabotage. Because it's sustained by something stronger than your mind. Your sacred commitment to yourself. Purpose, the cry the universe respects. Have you ever felt, deep down, a calling that cannot be ignored? A silent restlessness that screams within your soul? That is your purpose. The visceral reason that sustains you when everything around you falls apart. Bob Proctor always said that purpose is the most powerful fuel there is. Because without it, even the greatest skills, techniques, or knowledge are wasted in vain. Purpose is what creates true invincible strength. It is what makes the impossible seem like just the next step. It is the light that breaks through the darkness of doubt and giving up. But it is not a vague concept. It is a cry, a fire, an urgency. When you find your purpose, the universe feels it. It bends, opens doors, sends signals, all to conspire in your favor. And what's more, purpose is not just for your benefit. It is the link that connects you to the world, to your greater contribution, to your sacred mission. Without purpose, you are a leaf in the wind. With purpose, you are the storm. So ask yourself today, why do you wake up? What do you want to leave behind when you are no longer here? It doesn't matter how small or distant your dream seems. When it is aligned with your purpose, you will be unstoppable. The next 90 days are not just about changing habits. They are about changing your soul. To emerge from the darkness of fear and doubt with a truth that cannot be silenced. You were born for something greater, and the world is waiting for you to rise up and make it happen. I hope to see you in the next video. Money comes from the mind, not from work. Bob Proctor. Leave a like so that YouTube understands that this video can be delivered to more people.